Hello everyone, I'm Mahalakshmi, from a graduate student from Computer Science Department, and I'm here with my teammates Parikshit and Anant, and we're going to discuss upon the project that we've chosen, flight delay analysis. Here we're going to build a predictive model to help a user choose between two airports. Now when it comes to the background, let's say a traveler wants to choose a flight that has minimum delay, and he has two options to choose between airport 1 and airport 2, and the flight delay can be of multiple reasons like weather, traffic and maintenance delay, etc. But we're going to help the user make the right choice of choosing the airport which has the minimum delay of flights. Now let's come to the problem statement. Let's say the user gives us the input of where he wants to fly, like the destination, and the date that he wants to fly out from. We built a predictive model and give out the output of which airport he has to choose so that the flight delay is minimized. Now, when it comes to our approach, we're going to start off with the exploratory data analysis and find some conclusions about our data, attributes and all. And then we do data extraction and pre-processing so that this data is compatible to our models. And then the training models that we're going to use are the logistic regression model and the naive Bayes classification. And after building our predictive models, we are going to test these models for their accuracies and then compare the performances. And then coming to the data that we've chosen here, it's taken from the source American Statistical Association website, and this is publicly available data, and this website contains information about flight arrivals and departures of almost all the US major airports. And the data that we chose contains records from 1987 to 2008, but we're going to choose the data which is from 2003 to 2008 only, because we have to ensure that there is variable consistency, because there are some variables that are not present in the years before 2003 that are present after 2003. Choosing such kind of data might cause bias in our learning model. And when it comes to the size of the data set is very large, in which each year contains around millions of records, and we have data of around 5 years of such records that we're going to choose for a model. Now before we go to the building of a predictive model, let's say there are certain kind of assumptions that we make before we build the model. And the first assumption could be this model will be useful for the business users who are very particular about the day that they want to leave, but are not really particular about the time of the day when they want to leave. Now let's also assume that all flights we consider are non-stop and there are no connecting flights considered, and the model also assumes that the price is indifferent to the user. It's okay, the slight difference in the price. Let's have a look at the variables that we have in our data. There are around 25 variables in the data set we've chosen, and out of this we do PCA, the principal component analysis, and then bring down our 25 variables set to a set of 10 variables, and we remove variables like the cancellation code which might not actually contribute to the learning of our model. And then after the analysis and the reduction of the attributes, we are here with the 10 attributes that are really relevant to our model, like the origin and the unique carrier and day of the week and everything. And the predictive output attribute that we are going to have here is the departure delay, which contains values of zeros and ones. Ones denote that the flight is delayed, and zero denotes that the flight is not delayed. Now, when it comes to the exploratory data analysis that we've made for our data, here are some of the plots that we have put up. So the first one is a heat map that shows us the correlation between each of the attributes that we have chosen for the model, and we can see according to the map that the departure time and the departure delay are slightly more correlated than the other variables. And then when it comes to the next set of the graphs, so this graph is about the average departure delay plotted against the day of the month. You can see that the graph goes high at the end of the month, that is on the 31st, And then it's also relatively a bit higher in the first week and the last week. So the flights are usually more delayed at certain parts of the month. And then when it comes to the next graph, let's see, this is the graph about average departure delay plotted against the days of the week. We can see that here the curve goes very high on the weekend, that is on Sunday. We can make the conclusion that when there are more number of flights and it could be very clumsy and the flights could be delayed on the weekend as people rush to the hometown on their weekends. And this bar graph is about departure delay plotted against the carriers, various carriers. Let's say we've taken around 17 flight carriers that are available, and each of the code denotes a flight carrier, a unique flight carrier. And let's say the 15th carrier actually has the most number of delayed flights, and we can say that that airline may not be the best choice when you try to fly out from a city, because it clearly shows that there are many delay of flights. After we have drawn certain number of conclusions, now we can go to our data processing and building up a predictive model that will be explained by my friend.
Hello friends, Parikshit here. Now that my colleague have given you an overview of doing the exploratory data analysis and cunning out the important features for our project, one of the major important factor is data processing and feature extraction from the data set. And we face some of the challenges that I would like to highlight here while working on our projects. So one of the most important thing or challenge was our data set was a pretty huge large scale data set, which were having around 40 millions of records. So when we were trying to load the data into our models and our local data set, we are facing issues like memory overflow, due to which we have to come up with a solution of doing the batches and pickling the data and then loading it in the cloud. So we created batches of our data set, like you can see data, the name of the year and the size of the data that is having in that pickle. So it's the concept of pickling, that is object serialization concept that converts the small data sets into the bytecode, and then we uploaded it into Amazon Cloud using Amazon Web Services like S3 and EC2. Use the framework Goto, which is a Python library which allows us to use the AWS Web Services like S3 and EC2. The second major challenge we faced was many of the columns were having categorical values. They were not having the actual integer values which are required for machine learning models. So to deal with this, we have to use the concept of label encoding, which converts the categorical values into the actual numerical values, might be int and float. So after converting that into the actual int values, we can use them for modeling our data set. So that was one of the things. And then we have cancelled out, or we have removed the records which were having missing values like NA or question mark. We have also removed all the cancelled flights, because the cancelled flights won't matter and they will be irrelevant to our model. We have structured all this data using Python's pandas library, and we have also converted all the string values into the integers, so that we can use it and make the data ready for the model calculations. Now once the data is processed and it's ready for feeding it to the models, we have worked on the two main machine learning models, Neo-Bayes and logical classic regression, on which my friend Anant would like to give some focus on. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Anand. So let's start with how we have implemented the two classification model. First we'll look into the logistic regression model. So this is a brief overview of how we implement the logistic regression model. So x1, x2, x3 are basically the feature variables, and this model will take the feature as an input and learn from these features and finally give the output as the classification variables. The model will also find the theta values, which is basically the weight for each features. The weight determines like how much contribution a particular feature has in predicting the final output, the y values. In our case, the y values will be delays or non-delays. Delay is 1 and non-delay is 0. So why are we using the logistic regression model in our case? So logistic regression is basically the simplest we can start with. It is the start of the basic classification model for machine learning. So also we found that after doing the exploratory data analysis, we found that there was some linear relationship between the feature variables and the outcome of the binary classification variable. Because of these reasons, we thought of moving ahead with the logistic regression model, and these are the input variables which we are giving into the model. And since my colleague told that the data was in not proper format, so we did some encoding for these features, and binary dummy variables were assigned to this. And also for the classification variables, the delay, which is in terms of time, we converted into zeros and one format, such that if delay is greater than 5 minutes, so it will be 1, and if it is less than 5 minutes, so there is no delay, which is 0. So next we did a gradient descent to find the optimal cost optimal values of theta. So we use this formula and we implemented this from scratch. We haven't used any Python inbuilt library, and also so we iteratively trained this on the training data set and found the global solution of this model, and the theta values was found in terms which is in matrix format, and we are using this theta values for predicting the output on our testing data set. So this is the output which we got for, this is the ROC curve which is plotting the data in terms of FP rate versus TP rate, and this is the accuracy which we obtained from the logistic regression model. The accuracy, recall, precision and F-score pretty good, which we like it is in the range of 60%. So next we'll see like how we implemented the naive-Bayes classifier model. So why are we implementing naive-Bayes classifier model? Because though it is simple, the naive-Bayes classifier has a more intuitive result as compared to the logistic regression, and we found that it was pretty easy and fast in predicting the classification binary classification values on the testing data set. And in the naive-Bayes classifier model was also robust in performance. So here what we are doing is we are only using 33% of the training data for implementing this model, and in order to cope with the overfitting concept, overfitting issues in the model, we are using a k-fold cross-validation approach, where in each iteration we are taking one particular year as a testing data, and rest 4 years we have taken as a training to train the model. So we are performing this step 5 times, and we are calculating the accuracy, precision and recall measures as we did for logistic regression on the testing data sets, and the F1 score is found from this formula. So these are the results for naive-Bayes classifier. This is the average value, this is like the values for each particular year, and those are the values for logistic regression. So if we compare the performance of the two model, we found that the naive-Bayes classifier was better in terms of it has better performance. Also the accuracy was better for naive-Bayes classifier. So we thought of so we finally moved ahead with the naive-Bayes classifier for further implementation of our project. So next we'll take an example of a user who wants to fly from an airport. We'll take an example of New York City. So the user want to fly on 20th May, and New York City has two major airports, Newark, this is the data for Newark, and this is data for JFK. So, and this is the range, like data is from 17th of May to 23rd of May. We have taken a range to best predict the day where the user can fly from the airport. So if you see over here in the graph, the red values represent the delayed flight, and the blue represent the non-delayed flight. That means the on-time flight. So if we see the probability of delay in Newark, it is much lower as compared to the probability of delay in JFK. So in this case, it is better for the traveler to travel from Newark airport. And if we want to mention any specific date, so we can see that for 20th and for 19th, the probability of flight getting delayed is much lower. So our model would suggest the user of this application to move ahead with booking of the tickets on either 20th or 19th of May. So next we will see the future scope of this particular project, and which will be taken care by my colleague. Thank you.
Hello friends, Now that my friend Anand have given you overview of the actual application of the project we are working on, so that the user get benefited from predicting the airport with the minimum delay, it's not limited to that, and we have the future work part for explaining that things. So like we can improve our model and the accuracy of our model using using some other features, like if we are incorporating the weather data in our data set, that would be very much impacting, because weather is one of the prominent factor which might cause the delays of the flight. So that's one thing. One more thing is that we can use more complex models like Markov modeling and deep convolutional network, which are like proven models to have the better results and the accuracy of the higher level. So we can use that also. Then we can enhance the model scope by considering that the flight will take stops in between the origin and the destination. So, and the last point I would like to highlight is that if we integrate these machine learning models into our Android or iOS applications like Kayak and Expedia, which are the flight booking applications, we can help the customers to choose the airport from which they would like to take the flight. So that's the thing. And so what's your itinerary? Thank you.